And there we are. Our webinar is now live. So we will just keep an eye. People are joining already, I think. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for coming along today. We'll let a few people get in and get sat down and comfortable. Grab a cup of tea. I see people joining now. And then we'll get started on our session this evening. We're on, it's only 6:59. We're keen. We just need a little bit of background music for this couple of minutes.
Would you like me to sing?
Yes, actually.
No, I don't think you would like that.
I think I may have heard you sing before, Becky.
Alex has joined, and Janet and Rose and Carol, so welcome everybody.
Oh, lovely. Welcome, everybody. Well, I'll just do a little bit of housekeeping while people are settling in, and then we can get started proper. So just to let everybody know, we're going to record this session. So don't worry about taking notes or anything like that. It will all be available for you again to watch back. I'll send it out to you tomorrow by email. And I know our lovely Paul Bailey is here and he's going to do some bits and pieces with it as well. So don't worry about that. All your mics are muted or automatically. So if you have any questions or anything like that, there's a question and answer section. If I just hand over to Becky, she can let you know how that all works. Do you want to go ahead, Becky?
Yeah, hi everybody, welcome this evening. So I'll be looking after the chat box and the Q&A. So as you join, it would be really nice if you could say hello in the chat and which church you're from. If you have any questions as we go along, you should see a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. It might be at the top. Pop your question in there and I'll either type an answer back to you, or if I think it's something that everybody would benefit from hearing, then when Roisin pauses for questions, then I'll raise that question then. And there'll also be time at the end for questions as well.
Lovely, thanks, Becky. And if there's anything we can't answer this evening, we'll come back to you tomorrow, so don't worry. I'd also like to introduce Paul Bailey, who's come along to support us this evening, and he's going to share some information that will really help you guys as well. Do you want to say hello, Paul?
Hello to everybody. Thanks for coming and supporting us. I know that there's a few people who've let me know that you're coming, so welcome to everybody.
That's wonderful. Right, we are going to get cracking. So it's 7:01. We are prompt, if nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get cracking. We hope to be finished for you for 8 o'clock, so we won't take up all of your evening. We're going to cover off how to make the very best out of easy fundraising for your churches, and hopefully by the end of the session you will be totally up to speed, know exactly what you're doing and ready to start raising some free funds. So let's get cracking. So today we're going to cover off the following. We're going to cover off what easy fundraising is and how it works, how you raise donations through shopping, the free donations, how you register your church as a cause on Easy Fundraising's website, how to use Easy Fundraising's donate feature, how to get your supporter network involved, and that's key with how Easy Fundraising works at its very best, is building your network. So we're going to show you how we do that, some tips for success, so where those bigger donations are and how some of our more successful causes go on to really boost their donations. Q&A, we've got a Q&A section at the end. As Becky mentioned earlier, we'll pause in the middle with some questions as well if needs be, so don't worry, if you've got anything that you want to know, just pop it in that Q&A and we'll get to it for you. And we've got a lovely prize draw at the end, £25 donation for somebody, so stay tuned and we'll draw that at the very end for you. So first things first, what is Easy Fundraising and how does it work? Easy Fundraising is an online shopping website. In essence, that's what we are. So your supporters do their normal online shopping, so the shopping that they were going to do anyway, they do it via Easy Fundraising, and there's a couple of ways they can do that. And if they do it via the website, the retailer knows that you came via Easy Fundraising, and they will give back a donation to the good cause that you support, which in this case is going to be your church. We're partnered with over 4,300 retailers now, so you can literally raise donations on everything from tools to takeaways, it says there, but it is absolutely everything that you are buying online you will be able to raise a donation for. So that's everything from your groceries or your Friday night takeaway to a holiday or car insurance, or just your kettle's broken and you're going to pick up a new one from Argos. We've been going since 2007, so we're doing this for a long time now. We are the largest of our type in the UK. So there are others out there who do a similar thing to us, but they don't have the breadth of retailer that we have. They don't have the resources that we can offer for you. We have a free donate feature. The donate feature is platform fee free, but there is a card fee applied. So if you use our donate feature, when you use your debit card, the company that facilitate that for us make a charge, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the session. And we are just loving working with the Diocese of Manchester. So we've been working together just on a year now. It's nearly our year anniversary. I think we first met you back on Leap Day in 2020, way before anybody had any idea that this was coming. We were totally green, I think, back then. But so about a year we've been working with you guys. So there's lots of churches in the Diocese of Manchester that are using Easy Fundraising and using it really well. So we are going to help you do that too. So that is how it all works. A little bit of background on where we are, and I'm probably telling you stuff that you already know, but the reason Easy Fundraising is working so well, particularly at the moment, is just because it's an online fundraiser, and it's something that you can incorporate within your other fundraising, but it can always just be running along in the background. So we know that 80% of good causes are forecasting losses this year. Of course they are. They're massively impacted by the pandemic and the results of what's gone on in this last 12 months. Equally, we know that 87% of households bought something online last year. It's only natural. The stores were shut, you know, we know that. And so people were almost forced to buy things online instead. During the pandemic, and so it has seen an increase naturally in supporters for good causes on the Easy Fundraising platform, and we want to make sure that that's something that you can make the most of as well. Over £4 million was raised last year in donations for good causes, £4 million, which is quite phenomenal. And we did see this spike, so we saw a 26% increase in supporters registering to support causes that were important to them. Once people realise this is a way that they can fundraise for something that's important to them, it's brilliant because it's a free fundraiser for them. They can support the causes that mean a lot to them for absolutely nothing. I'm not going to harp on about retailers all night long because there are far too many of them, but just I wanted to give you a little bit of a taster of what is there, what's available. So immediately I'm going to point out Eden, just because I know from speaking to churches over these last 12 months, it's actually a retailer that's really useful for people within the church community, and that is a retailer that offers donations on Easy Fundraising, and I'm going to demo how that works in a moment, and we'll use them. But also Just Eat are there, eBay, Argos, Amazon, the usual retailers that you would expect to see. They'll be there. The vast majority are already on. Even car insurance purchases or comparison websites, you'll be able to raise a donation using Easy Fundraising. So how does it work? This is the key. So raising a donation, I am going to take you to our live site to show you how you actually raise a donation. I'm going to seamlessly move over to our website, and I'm looking for a thumbs up from one of my colleagues. Thank you so much. So this is a homepage. So when you've registered your church and you're a supporter of Easy Fundraising, you have this page. Everybody has it, and it will tell you a little bit about your account and where you're at. Special offers that Easy Fundraising are offering at the moment. You'll see that little banner rolls by with competitions and whatnot. But also this is where you would go if you're just going to raise a donation, you're going to buy something, you know you want to buy it, you're going to go to Easy Fundraising. Two ways you can do it. You can either use this drop down box here where it says shop to raise. That will drop down categories. So if you're buying a pair of shoes, or you know a shirt or something, you know specifically what you're buying, but you haven't decided where, and you're interested into what retailers are available, you can just go on fashion and beauty, come across here, let's select footwear, see what retailers come up. Amazon come up first. Amazon always come up first. John Lewis, ASOS, Very, New Look, Clarks, George, all the retailers you'd expect to see if you were looking at buying some sort of footwear. So that's one way of doing it. Alternatively, you can just search for a retailer by clicking in the search for a retailer box along the top here. So if you know where you want to shop, you know the retailer that you want to visit, then this is the way to go. So for our demonstration, I am going to show you Eden, just because it's a really good example of how it works. As you type it in, it will start to give you options of which one you want. You can just carry on typing or just click on the retailer name there. Now, this page that opens is an information page. Going to give you a little bit of information about the retailer, what donation rates they're offering, and whether there's any sort of exclusions or limitations. Any information you need to know is going to be on this page here. So Eden offer a 5% donation. By the looks of it, they offer it regardless of whether you're a new customer to them or whether you're an existing customer. Some retailers might have different rates here based on that, or it might be if you buy certain items, they're giving different rates, they're promoting certain things at certain times, and so you'll get a better rate of donation. So it's always worth having a look and seeing what you can expect. This terms and conditions box here is where you'll find any exclusions or limitations or any pertinent information. So just by clicking on it, it's opening a pop-up box that says donations aren't available if you use a voucher or a discount when you're making a purchase with this retailer. Every retailer has their own version of this, and so all 4,300 have their own specifications as to what information they hold here. So you might find there's nothing at all, or you might find that there's reams of terms and conditions. Worth having a quick look. So you're happy? I'm going to carry on purchasing. I think I want to make a purchase from Eden anyway. They're going to give me a 5% donation. That's marvellous. I'm going to just click any of those shop now buttons will take me there. So it will take us to the website, the Eden website. It's a bit slow there. I think it's my Wi-Fi, everybody's home. So you can see that you're now in the Eden website. So this is the experience you'd have if you went directly to Eden. So if you just typed www.eden.co.uk in the search bar, or if you Googled Eden in a Google search and clicked on the answer from Google, you'd still get to this exact same page. Your experience is the same. Anything that you do here, any transaction that you make here remains private and secure within the retailer, as you'd expect. So Easy Fundraising don't know what you buy or any of your personal details. If you've got an account and you log in, they don't know any of that information. The only information that is shared is that if you make a purchase in this session, Eden will track back to Easy Fundraising to let them know the value of the purchase that you made. And then Easy Fundraising will make that a donation and add it to your the account that you're supporting. So in this case, it's going to be the church account. Easy Fundraising then collate all those donations and pay them out to the church. So that is how it works. It's as simple as that. If you're happy and you've made your purchase and you're good to go, you just simply click off there, and it will pop you back to the website just to say that you visited Eden, and you're done. That's it. Handy tip: if you need to get back to the website, to the home page, just the Easy Fundraising logo will always take you back to the home page. And that is how you actually raise a donation. Let me just go back to our deck. Bear with me one moment. Let's just see here. Are we good, guys?
Yep, we're back.
Thank you. So that is how you raise a donation. Are there any questions at this point, Becky, that you want to shout out?
No questions at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to talk you through how you get started. I think most people here today are not using the site yet, so I will just touch on how you actually register with Easy Fundraising. So as mentioned, we're working with the lovely Diocese of Manchester, and we have a special page, a landing page just for your churches. Keeps you all in our group, and then if we're running any competitions or any events like this, it will be we can keep you all together and know that you are a Manchester church. So I've popped a little QR code there as well. So if you've got a camera on your mobile phone and you just literally scan that, it will take you to that page as well, saves you logging in. Or you could just type it in there, www.easyfundraising.org.uk /diocese-of-Manchester. Once you're there, you'll be asked to pop in your church's name, which you just type it in, and then you'll be asked for a little bit of cause information. It's important to personalise this area because it's the area that your supporters will see when they actually register to support you. So if you're fundraising for something in particular, if you are perhaps I saw one today that the boiler, they're fundraising for their boiler, which isn't very glamorous, but I'm sure it's essential. So it might be that that's what you're fundraising for. It might be the roof, it might be a pilgrimage, it could just be for running costs. It can be for anything. Your needs are valid, so whatever that is. But it is nice to let people know so that they know what you're actually fundraising for. You can also update this info as and when you meet your fundraising targets and you want to change what you're focusing on. You can pop in a logo or a nice photograph of your church or perhaps your community or just something that represents you. If you're a registered charity, you can pop that detail in here. It's not required to be a registered charity to use Easy Fundraising. You don't need to provide any kind of registered charity number or HMRC numbers at all. They're not required, but you can if you want to. So if you are a registered charity, pop it in there. If not, you just select no and continue. Importantly, we need to know how we're going to pay you, because obviously that's important. So it will either be a BACS payment or a cheque. If you're choosing a BACS payment, we need your sort code and account number for the church account. And if you choose cheque, we just need you to pop in the name of the account payable, so the church's name, and your address where we're going to post that cheque to, and we will pay your donations for you quarterly, as long as £15 has been raised within that quarter. If you don't reach the £15, it just rolls over to the next quarter, so you never lose it, but it will just roll over to the next quarter and we'll pay you out then when it's built up to the 15 for you. Also, we have our direct donate feature, which is only available to our churches. So it's only available if you register via our special landing page that we have with the Diocese of Manchester. So if you want to continue and get the donate feature also on your account, you'll need to just add a little bit more information. So if I show you here, this will be the next page that you see. So if you select, yes, I want to add donate, you'll be delivered this page on your registration journey. You'll need to fill in some extra information that you see there. It will ask you for your website link. This can fox some people. So you can either put in your church near you page, or if you have your own website, that's the information you pop in there. And then it is validated, and you'll be able to also collect direct donations for your church. Now, it's slightly different with direct donations. One, that you must have BACS payments. We can only pay those direct donations through a BACS account. Those donations are paid weekly. So they come, it's in a rolling 7-day period. So if somebody makes a donation on Monday, it will be in your account by the following Monday. So it's not collated quarterly like the free shopping donations are. So just a couple of things to be aware of. Donate is platform fee free, so we don't make any charges to you. But there's a card fee applied, as you'd expect. And that is 1.4% plus 20 pence on every transaction, which is very reasonable, but it's important to note that there is that charge, and it's a flat rate and it's on every transaction. So whether somebody donates £5 or £100, it's still 1.4% plus 20 pence for that transaction. More information on that can be found with information that Paul provides, which is absolutely fabulous. So Paul, I don't know if you want to take this moment to perhaps share a little bit of what's available on your site to help with this.
And do, yeah. So just let me just take over the screen sharing.
Thank you.
So I'm at the Diocese of Manchester website, and I'm in support for parishes, parish finance and digital giving in there. So you'll see within here, as I scroll down, there's lots of useful information in here. There is lots of details about Easy Fundraising in that section there. The link to get you to the portal that Roisin's already mentioned, a getting started guide, and lots of other things in here that you can start to utilize to make life that little bit easier. And additionally, there's a link to our YouTube channel, which is there, as people can see. And there is, when I come through, if I just close that and come back across, there is lots of information on the YouTube channel, which is enabled me to do things like this for my own church. So you can see donate button, is visible on there. I've also got information about easy fundraising and how it works in there, which again is all available from the web page. And if you don't have your own website, a church near you, I've also got details about how you can put a church near you donate button onto your church near you page. And then this is the St. Michael's donate button. And that's basically from the start of the pandemic last year, sort of March, April time. That's the amount of money that we were looking at. And I mentioned the YouTube channel earlier on. If we click on the videos in here, there are a series of videos that are increasing, and a number of these are linked to easy fundraising. Adding the donate button to your website, a church near you page is all in there as well. So with that, I'll stop sharing and hand back to Roisin. If anybody's got any questions, please put them in the chat for Becky, and if I need to answer them, I will do.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. That is great. It is remarkable how much stuff is there to help you and to support you. There's as much or as little as you need to take. This screen that I'm showing you now would show you exactly that page that Paul had there, but this is how a supporter would see it. So they'll have the option to support the cause by clicking on the pink button. They've got the option to give a donation by clicking on the blue button. And as Paul mentioned there is lots and lots of resources available on Paul's site to help you promote the donate feature as well as easy fundraising in general. So you're up and running. That page is going to be the page that you're going to share with your supporters, your network, your congregation and people in your community. And we are going to help you with that now. So let me just get us moving. How to get your supporter network involved is actually the key bit that's most important with easy fundraising, in that it works at its very finest when everybody's doing it. The more people that are shopping online, raising donations, the bigger the donations you're getting, the more successful it is, the more people realise it's a good idea and a good fundraiser, and so it goes on. So it's absolutely key to get people involved, and easy fundraising know that, and that we've given you lots of resources to help you do that. So that's what we're going to show you now. So I'm going to take you back to our site where I can demonstrate for you some of the tools that are available to help you spread the word, as it were, to let people know. So back to the home page. Everybody has this page, all supporters have it, and equally important, all supporters have access to this area here, which is the Promote My Cause area of the site. This pink button, if you're a supporter, you have access to this area. So by clicking on that, it will open up our fundraising toolkit and all of the different resources that are available. All of these tiles are all different campaigns almost. You can sort of think of them as campaigns. So if you want to talk about specific things, you can go here to do that. And just for today's demo, I'm just going to select the Get Started section because it's a good place to start if you are new. So we'll click on Get Started and find out more. And it will give you some steps that you can, next steps for you. First and foremost is you can talk to us. So we have a team of fundraising coaches at Easy Fundraising who speak to our causes all day, every day, all working remotely at the moment, but they love talking to causes and they are really experienced. So they can give you a one-to-one call, 15-20 minutes where they'll talk you around the site, where everything is and how it all works, just to help you get started. And that's available to you whenever you want it. So you can, just by clicking here, that will book that session for you, and it's a really good starter for 10. Then you want to let people know, of course you do, that you're actually using Easy Fundraising now, and that's the bit that these tools are useful for. So no matter how you speak to the people in your community, whether that's kind of, people have got all different ways, but whether you like to email people or you use newsletter, perhaps you've got a Facebook group that you use and you communicate there, or on Twitter. Some churches like to use Twitter. It might be that you've got a WhatsApp group potentially of people who are key to your fundraising and you want to share information there. All of this area will have tools to enable you to do that. So for instance, this Facebook post, it's saying that we've registered with Easy Fundraising. This is pulling out details of my cause I raised for Brownie Unit. So all of this content is already written for you, and you can tweak it if you want to, but you can literally just pick it up, copy and paste it. This link at the bottom, you can see my 227 holy name there. That will automatically populate with your church's details, so you don't have to worry about finding your link anywhere. All you need to do is copy that, paste it and post it in Facebook, and then you've starting to let people know. Same applies for everything, for Twitter, for WhatsApp, all will have your link in it already. So all you need to do is just pick it up and pop it into the relevant place. Newsletter is here for you. Also, you can even add it to your website. There's some information there which is similar to what Paul was sharing just a moment ago. You can also look at it from channel. So rather than looking at the tiles, you can go down and think, well, actually, I like to use posters and flyers. And so using these headings here, you can select posters and flyers, and perhaps when we're starting to gather again and we're actually able to see people in person again, these sort of tools will be useful for you. But you can download posters, flyers. Our coaches say that posters on the back of toilet doors is apparently a very good way of getting the message across. There's even wide banners and big roller banners that you can get printed off. You'd need to go to a professional printer, but you could use Vistaprint and get a donation at the same time. Also within this area, we've got tools to help you with certain campaigns. So we've got some tools that help supporters use Easy Fundraising for shopping. So we've got a free app, and we've got our donation reminder, which we're going to talk about in a little while. But I just wanted to highlight that there are down here, get supporters using the app, get supporters using the donation reminder, business purchases, these raising big donations. These are all campaigns that allow you to speak to your supporters about tools that Easy Fundraising have that makes it easy for them to use. So you might say, this month we're just going to put a post out on our Facebook group to just remind people that we use Easy Fundraising, also let them know that there's an app. Maybe they don't know that there's an app, and they can download the app for free. Of course, it's free. Easy Fundraising is always free. There's never a charge for you. And then they can start raising donations for you using that. Let me go back to our main heading here. I also want to show you an area on the site about where you can see who's raising for you and how they're getting on. We are very careful with people's personal information. We share a certain amount of data that is agreed with the supporters when they register, and that is usually first name and initial of their last name, and that's all the information we will ever share. A supporter can choose to remain anonymous if they prefer, and they do that within their supporter settings. And so if you see somebody within your lists that says anonymous, that's why they've chosen not to have their name feature on the website. So this area of the site on the homepage here we call the donuts. And it is where you can find a bit of a breakdown about your account. So I'm going to click on this viewer breakdown of your supporter activity here, and it's going to open up some information about supporter activity. You can choose how you want to view it. So if you want to view the last 7 days, 30 days, 3 months, 12 months, it defaults to 12 months. But perhaps if maybe you've had a little push on it and you want to see how much response you had, you can use those to tailor the information that you're going to see here. I am going to scooch down now, but I am not the best example to demonstrate in this for this particular feature because I only have a few supporters and we're quite small. Just goes to show though, you don't need to have millions. Like just the faithful few can have a big impact, although it's obviously better to have as many as you can. But you can see here that my top supporters are Alex H, and then that's me, Roshi now. Then Jane, then Catherine, and that's a different account, still me. You can see new supporters here who've supported the cause in the last 12 months, that's Catherine, and you can see supporters who've never shopped, and that is, you can see that's Kim there, and she's never shopped. Now, I know Kim's no longer involved in our brownie unit, but if I didn't know that, we've got some tools to enable you to reach out to those supporters in your own words, and we'll send those messages out on your behalf. So we can't share their details with you, but we can send messages for you on your behalf. So to do that, all we need to do is go back to the top here and back to the home page, clicking on the trusty logo. And I'm going to select my causes here, and just across to this last menu where it says manage supporter communications, I'm going to click on that. And here I'm going to have, there's 6 messages at the moment. There's talk of these possibly changing and maybe a couple of additions, because we've had some feedback from supporters who would like to see some other bits and pieces here. But you basically edit these messages to say whatever you would like them to say. And you can pick and choose how many you want to do. So I haven't done them all. I've done that first one to welcome new supporters, because I just think that's nice. Simply edited the message. I popped in what I wanted to say. I was able to personalize it. You could change any of that to suit your own tone, so that you're saying something that's really meaningful to your church. Then you simply submit, and we will send that every time you get a new supporter on your behalf. You can do it for this when they've raised their first donation. It's so nice to get a thank you. I think everybody responds well to a thank you, and to have that option to be able to say, look, this is actually going to make a big difference to us. Thank you very much for going to the effort. I think that's a really worthwhile thing to do.
We developed these specifically in response to causes asking for them, saying how can we communicate with the supporters. It's great if you know Kim, you can say to her, Kim, could you start raising for us again? But if you don't know Kim, then you still want to be able to communicate with them. So this was very much developed in response to what our causes said they needed. So they're relatively new, so please use them and let us know what you think, and if there are any changes that you would make, we'd love to hear.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it's almost a work in progress, in that it has been delivered on the back of supporter feedback and admin feedback, because it was a little bit of a disconnect, not being able to reach out to their supporters. And like Becky said, you might not know Kim. I mean, I know Kim as it happens, but you might not know Kim. Or the other thing I often think is you might have 2 or 3 Mary B's, and you just don't know who is who. If you don't know, because hopefully your supporter network is going to be far and wide, and you're going to have lots of supporters. The key one that I would say, if you didn't do any of the others but you did this one, is this keep supporters raising one. And we'll send that out if a supporter stops raising or doesn't get going. We'll send that out on your behalf, and it's just a way of saying, I can see you registered, thank you, we'd love you to give it a go, try it and see if you can raise a donation, because it's part of our fundraising now. So that would be one that I would say have a little look at. Now, Becky, any questions at the moment?
Just got a question about Promote My Course. Somebody just asking whether you just use that when you first start using Easy Fundraising. Well, no, absolutely not. When you first register with Easy Fundraising, you've got all your get started messages, but actually we're constantly updating what's in here, so there'll always be something new to say. So there's an area that says this month's messages, where we've put in what we think would be some good messages for you to send out to your supporters. So I think at the moment we've got Mother's Day and we've got car insurance, so there'll always be something new. And that really is the key, actually, is just to keep on reminding your supporters regularly about Easy Fundraising. So no matter what they're buying at what time of year, you'll find a message in here that can help you remind them. The other thing to say as well is that it doesn't just have to be you that is the person that accesses these messages. As Roisin mentioned, any of your supporters can access this area, and it will all be populated with your church name and your church link. So if you've got someone in your supporter network who always writes your newsletter, or who is really good on social media, we all know somebody that spends a lot of time on Facebook, too much time on Facebook probably, so you can give them the task, because you're probably the busiest person in the church already, so give them the task of popping in to Promote My Cause once a week or once a month, grabbing the most recent message and putting it out to your supporters. So it doesn't just have to be you that does it.
Excellent advice. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Becky. It's a bit of delegation, share this a little bit, because it regular promotion is the key, actually. And if somebody can do that for you, or they can print off the posters for you, perhaps you've got somebody within your network who does your printing, anything like that. Definitely get people involved. The more people involved, the better it will do for you, definitely. So we'll plough on then. If we've got no questions at the moment, we're going to go to how to raise as much as possible. So there's some tools that I'm going to show you now, and then we're going to give you some other things to consider about where the bigger donations are. First thing I wanted to talk to you about, though, is the tools that we provide to help people actually do the shopping, use the website to make it easy for them. First and foremost is an app, our free app, that is available for download, obviously on iOS and Android, as you'd expect, and on mobile phones and on tablets and iPads. And it's a really great piece of kit. It is, you can add your favorites to it. We're actually always updating our app to try and make it as user-friendly as possible. And the latest edition of being able to put favorites on is definitely brilliant. Our coaches have a handy hint that they suggest, which is that you move your sort of retailer apps onto the next page. If you hold on to them, and you can just scooch them across, so they're not on your main homepage with all of your important apps, and just keep the Easy Fundraising E, the little logo, keep that on your front page with the apps that you use all the time, like your WhatsApp or your mail or your phone. Then it acts as a bit of a reminder. So rather than opening your phone and going straight to Amazon, you see the E first, then you click on the E, and then you click Amazon. It's literally just one extra step, but you're going to get a donation for your church at that point. So we would definitely recommend the app, and there are tools within Promote My Cause that I mentioned that are just down there on the bottom on the left hand side to enable you to share that information with your supporters. To say, it never fails to amaze me how many people don't know we have an app, and I'm always harping on about it, but it's one of those things, so you can never tell. So it's nice to let people know. The other really useful tool that we have is what we call our donation reminder. And this is a little widget that sits on your laptop or your desktop computer. So it's not available on mobile devices at the moment, but watch this space. We've got a team working on it because we know supporters love this tool and they would like to see it on mobile devices as well. So as soon as we can get that technology, we will get that working for you. But in the meantime, it's the app for mobile, and we recommend the donation reminder for desktops and laptops. Now, it works in a couple of ways. The main way is that it reminds you that there's a donation available. So if you are just Googling, just visit a retailer, you just perhaps click on John Lewis, the donation reminder will pop up. As you can see there, it will say, great news, there's a donation. It will tell you what donation's available, give you the option to click it to say, yes, actually, I want to make a purchase. And then you will receive a donation if you make a purchase in that session. You don't have to go and log into the website or anything. It will just carry on with your normal process. But now the donation reminder knows that you're going to make a purchase, and it's going to track it for you, so you get the donation. It also works by if you're searching for an item. So if you actually want to make a purchase, want to buy something, for instance, I was looking at buying AirPods at Christmas time for my teenagers, and they're quite expensive, and I was looking to see if I could get a bargain, actually is what I was looking for, so I could see if I could get them cheaper than I could find them, and I couldn't. They're the same price no matter where I went. But by Googling AirPods, Google delivered the first couple of adverts are paid for Google Spots, but then all of the other retailers that come up they'll tell you if they're an Easy Fundraising retailer and what the donation available is. And it was that was really important to me, because I could see that I could buy the AirPods from Currys, from Argos, from Apple, from John Lewis, from all these various different retailers, but the donations were different. The price was the same, but John Lewis was 3% at that point. I think they had a double donation offer at that moment. Currys was perhaps 2%. So I chose to buy the AirPods from John Lewis based on the fact that the donation was the best one at the time. So it's another good way the donation reminder works. And the other way it works is that it will alert you to retailers that you never thought possible on Easy Fundraising, which Becky has a good story about a recent purchase she made.
I do indeed. Well, I've worked at Easy Fundraising since the very beginning, and even I don't know all of the retailers that are involved, because there's over 4,000, so it's not possible to know them all. And I was recently, about a month ago, searching for a mattress, because we realised that our mattress was 14 years old, which I believe they tell you to change your mattress after 6 years. So we're wondering why my husband had a bad back. And ordinarily, if lockdown wasn't in place, we perhaps would have gone to a mattress shop and lay on a few mattresses, but of course we weren't able to do that. So I was just researching different mattresses, ended up on a website called Nectar Sleep, saw the donation reminder alert me that they were a retailer with a 6% donation rate. So I bought from them, and I got a £22 donation for my son's school, and I wouldn't have known that they were an Easy Fundraising retailer had I not got the donation reminder. So true story, we have the mattress now, it's amazing, husband's back is much better, and we got a £22 donation.
It is wonderful. It's a genuine true story. We've heard all about this mattress for a few years now. And we do expect an awful lot of Becky, but we don't expect her to know all 4,000 retailers. Although we do expect a lot of her as our oldest employee. But yes, the donation reminder is such a key tool. It enables you to never miss a donation. I mean, people that have the donation reminder, they stay with you, they don't drift off, they're almost accidentally fundraising for you. I downloaded the donation reminder onto my husband's laptop, and he recently bought us a lamp for our living room from John Lewis, and he said, "Oh, I got a donation for that lamp." Yes, because even though I've been working here for a number of years now, he doesn't truly understand how Easy Fundraising works either. But so people who have it will almost accidentally fundraise for you. They'll stay with you. And again, there's tools in the Promote My Cause area to help you tell people how to get them. Now, other ways of raising bigger donations and really making Easy Fundraising worthwhile for your church are things like this. So every now and then we'll make purchases which can have a big impact, and all of your supporters will be doing the same. We're all unfortunately having to do these sort of life admin tasks, these adult tasks as we call them, where we have to do insure our vehicles, or insure our homes or our pets, or sort out broadband, or buy phone contracts, all of those things that are as a retailer, they really want your business, because they're going to likely keep you for 12 months. So you're very valuable to that retailer, and consequently they will incentivize you with good donations, good rates of donation. So you'll find purchases like these that are more measured, perhaps you've given a bit more thought to, you've researched and decided the purchase that you're going to make. They'll likely have a flat rate donation rather than a percentage. So you might find that if you're insuring your car, you might get a £20 donation or a £30 donation. I bought a mobile phone contract for one of my teenagers. So you're getting into a 2-year contract with Carphone Warehouse. So they really want you. And I got a £33 donation at that point. And I would have paid the same whether I went with Carphone Warehouse through Easy Fundraising or not. But by going through Easy Fundraising, I got the donation for the brownies, which is that. Now that's a great boost, £33. It's great having all the Amazons and Argos and all those little bits adding up, and they do. But then every now and then you get these big boosts that really totals up for you. So anything like that is worth considering, because you're not only going to raise a donation, you're going to save money as well. We don't get any, nobody gives us any loyalty for renewals these days. So your renewals always, well, certainly my renewal is always more, no matter what I do. I haven't had an accident, I've hardly driven this last 12 months, and it still went up. Whereas, so you're better off, you're in a better position as a new customer. Anyway, even if you're just buying something, you're in a better position as a new customer usually. So it's worth doing your research, checking to see, can I save money and can I raise a donation at the same time? With anything like that, mobile phones, broadband contracts, insurances, pet, travel, home, car, van, all of those things.
These are the things that your people in your congregation will be doing anyway, and you've only got to get 4 or 5 people doing something like a Carphone Warehouse or something like that, or British Gas, and you've raised over £100. And it's all the boring adult grown-up purchases that we all have to make every year anyway. So it's well worth encouraging your supporters to to have a look at this.
Oh, it's such a great feeling to get a little bit extra back as well, always with anything like that. I always feel like I've had a little win if I get a little bit of something back.
I got £15 recently for my car insurance. I got £15.
Exactly, it is that those donations are absolutely out there. It's not a myth. Those donations are out there. They're there to be had. You may as well have them. Somebody else is getting paid for that referral. It may as well be your church that's getting the benefit of that purchase, without a doubt. So yes, those sort of purchases, give them some consideration. There's tools in Promote My Cause. I'm like a broken record, but there's tools there that you can share, because like Becky mentioned there, something like an insurance purchase is almost exclusively purchased online now. Like those days of going to brokers and that kind of transaction, it's changed, and the way that we can very easily compare so many companies and so many policies, it's all because it's online. So that's worth considering and sharing with your network. Vacations and staycations. Now, this is something that we toy with including and not including because of the circumstances that we're in, and we know that we're not moving around as we were. It's in and out of these presentations. It's back in now based on the announcement from Downing Street last week that we think maybe people will be considering booking holidays and travel again in the not too distant future. Becky was speaking to somebody who'd said they'd seen a huge spike in holiday bookings literally the day after that announcement from Number 10. So we know that people are perhaps considering making a booking for a holiday. So we're putting this here to give it to, so that you know that it's available for you, and it's up to you whether or not you thought it's an appropriate message for your membership at the moment. But it's something to consider. Again, this is somewhere where you can raise big donations. Becky's family had a holiday, sadly cancelled, unfortunately, because of everything that happened, but they were booked to go to Malta, and they would have had was it £74, Becky?
74, yeah, £73 something. That was with Home and Away. So it was, we booked for 7 of us, including my elderly parents, to go. Obviously we didn't get to go because of the pandemic, but had we have gone, we would have got a £73 donation.
And again, those are genuine donations. So those donations, of course, those purchases are invariably bigger. They're more expensive if you're booking to go away, particularly with a family. But it might even be that you're actually just booking something small, a weekend away. Maybe you just need to book train tickets and something, a little bit of accommodation through booking.com. All of those things, every aspect of your travel could be raising donations for your church. So everything from those sort of smaller, maybe just a little bit of a coach ticket or a train ticket, to a flight, to car hire, to your currency. You could get that through Easy Fundraising. Even your suntan lotion, hopefully it won't be long before we're buying suntan lotion again, and we're able to move around again. So travel is one to consider. There's donations there to be had. Again, people are invariably looking online to book those sort of trips, and hopefully in the future we'll be moving about a bit more and that can come back. And this is the one that I really want, if you take nothing else away from tonight, I want you to just have a think about this area of easy fundraising and how this can boost your fundraising, which is thinking about business and how people, yourselves and people within your network could be, and people out in the community are buying for business every day. They are, as part of their day-to-day process, they buy things online all the time, and that purchase could be raising donations for you each time as well, and they don't know yet. And as soon as you tell them, they'll be able to do it for you, and you'll find that you're getting donations in every day, and that really starts to boost your funds. So buying for business is sort of split into 3 ways. When I showed you my my account a little earlier on, Alex is a business buyer. So Alex actually travels for her work, and so she puts all of her train tickets and her accommodation, if ever she's speaking at conferences or visiting clients and has to stay, she puts all of her accommodation through booking.com or whichever retailer she's using, all of her train tickets through Trainline, and she is still able to claim those back from her employer as an expense, as she would have normally, because the donation is directly from the retailer to your church. It doesn't go onto the receipt. There's no there's no change in the price that she's paid for that product. So she still makes the purchase as she would normally. She gets a donation for our brownie group, but she also still claims it back from her employer, and everything is absolutely fine. We have another example of sort of business buying, which is somebody who has asked their employer if they can put their business purchases through Easy Fundraising. Which, Becky, I'll let you explain that one.
Yeah, so one of our causes, they have a gentleman that supports them, and he is the purchasing manager for a university halls of residence. So he has to buy on a daily basis from a number of retailers, but mainly from Viking. He has to buy all sorts of things from toilet rolls to light bulbs and cleaning products to keep the halls of residence clean, all sorts of things. So he was already buying through Viking daily anyway. Asked his boss if he wouldn't mind if he did it to support his cause. Boss was absolutely fine with that. So now that's what he does, and he's raised almost £500 in a year. And he was already doing that. He was already buying with Viking anyway, but now he benefits his cause at the same time. And we've got lots of examples of people doing that. We've got a grassroots football team here in Birmingham where we are, and one of the parents there, she works for an electricals company, and they have to buy from RS Components, and they buy again almost daily, and she's raised a good few £100 for what is essentially a really small grassroots all girls football team, and she was buying with RS anyway, but now she gets a donation at the same time.
Yeah, there's such potential here for you to be able to really boost your donations by tapping into this area of easy fundraising. So it's to think about because if you might be buying things yourselves, so you might be buying things for the church, you might be buying things for, I know Paul and I spoke earlier about potentially for Sunday school when we're going back, maybe you'd be looking at getting some craft activities back together, so that we've got retailers like Baker Ross or Wilco's, if you're going to use them anyway, but you can get a donation at the same time. We know that you guys have got parish buying as well, so it might be that you check parish buying first to make sure that your any kind of preferential rate isn't available first, but if it isn't, then let's buy through easy fundraising and get a donation instead. So it's worth balancing them all out. So you're thinking about the things that I need to buy for the church and for just us, so maybe printers, printer ink, any kind of laptops or anything along those lines, teas and coffees, consumables, all of those things can be raising donations for you. Then
people in church like tea and coffee at the end of services, or buying stuff for their parish halls to use there. And yeah, so some of the examples I think that have already been mentioned are as relevant for churches as well.
It's endless, isn't it, really? It's just a case of being open to just having it in your mind and thinking, actually, this is something that I could be raising a donation with. Getting into the habit, once you're in the swing of it, you're away. It is just a bit of a habit building. But yes, so thinking about your own church first and foremost, or your own needs first and foremost, then thinking about the congregation and sharing the messages that are in Promote My Cause, just to check that there isn't anybody, so that you haven't got anybody working in a university campus by any stretch, or somebody working for an electrical firm that use RS Components. We know RS Components offer donations. When people are using that retailer, invariably they're using them every day. So it's a really good retailer to raise donations from. But you might have landscape gardeners, electricians, you might have people who are just responsible for the business buying and are okay to ask their employer if they could use this as a way to support the church, and then also out into the community. So this is about, it is about, don't limit yourself to just yourselves and just your immediate network. Think broadly. When I years ago, when I was on the PTA, we used to always have a summer fair, and we always had a programme, and every year we would go around to all the local businesses, the estate agent, the chip shop and the local sweet shop, and ask them to advertise in our flyer. Not that they needed to advertise, because just local business, but they would always very kindly advertise in our flyer for the princely sum of, I think, £10 for half a page, 15 for a full page, and they're supporting the local school by doing that, and it just keeps the community moving, doesn't it? And this is, if I had easy fundraising, then I would have said to them, you know, instead of paying £15 to be an our flyer, would you put your business buying through Easy Fundraising for us instead? And then they could be supporting you for free all the time, at no extra cost to them, and able to really support something within the community. We know a lot of churches and are in villages or towns that the rest of the community do want to support them but aren't necessarily attending. So it's something that you can shout about, get the word out, tell anybody who will listen. This is a way that they can support you through business buying, something to be really mindful of. So with that, oh, I know what that's, this is about sharing your messages, but I talked to you about it a little bit earlier. So this is that bit in the site where I showed you where you can, I was super efficient, I showed you while it was live, where you can actually share your messages. So I won't go back to it, but that's about personalising your content so that you're thanking people when they register, and if people drop off, you're letting them know that, that you're still using Easy Fundraising and they can still fundraise for you that way. So 3 top tips. We would say spread the word. So using the tools in Promote My Cause, spread the word to let everybody know about Easy Fundraising and thank them, thank your supporters for sticking with you, because everybody likes to just have it acknowledged that they're doing something nice for you. Help your supporters use Easy Fundraising by getting them to download the app and the donation reminder, and looking at using the tools in Promote My Cause to get people to do that. And you could do that really regularly. You could do it every 6 months or so. Say we're going to do a bit of a push on the app or a bit of a push on the donation reminder. And then remember those big purchases. So remember the big purchases, sort of annual purchases. Find your business buyers, keep that in the upper part of your mind, that actually that's something that's really, really worthwhile for you. Think about travel. If travel is relevant for you and you think it's appropriate, let people know that that's a way that they can fundraise for you. So, have we got any questions, Becky?
Have a question from Janet. Is it open to anyone you have contact with outside the congregation, or is there a limit to how many you can share this with to get them involved? Good news is, Janet, no, there's no limit. You can have get as many people as you want on board, and they don't have to be specific members of your congregation. It can be your family and friends. It can be anybody that wants to support you. So the more the merrier.
I've had this question before, actually, and I don't think, to make it clearer, that's absolutely right. There is absolutely no restriction at all. You could be fundraising for something that is miles and miles and miles away from you. It's absolutely whatever's important to you, then you can fundraise using Easy Fundraising, and to not be limited. So, because often people, if they just know that they're doing it anyway, and they think, oh, I could be fundraising for something that's important to you. It might be members of your family want to help you support the good work that you're doing for your church, or friends, extended family. As I say, it is limitless out into the community. Don't be restricted. Think broad, think wide. Have you got any more, Beck?
No other questions. I think you've covered off everything really, really nicely.
I think if I've got one tip, it's get your vicar to do it, because the number of conversations that the vicar or your clergy team will be having. So I know our vicar, you know, he's always in eBay or Amazon buying things for his child and or for himself, because he's an amateur DJ. So he's in there all the time and he loves it. He loves the donation reminder. And then he says, oh, I've got a fundraising committee. I'll show them in Zoom during the fundraising committee meeting. And the number of people who then signed up after that with that personal demonstration was enormous. So yeah, just think about who the key people are who they can share it with.
That's such a good tip, because it just go, if one person is almost championing it, if you've got that one person who's shouting it out, that breeds more enthusiasm and more excitement around it. It builds a bit of energy around it. So that's an excellent tip, definitely. Right, shall we do our prize draw? We have a £25 donation for one lucky winner, and I can't believe how to time we are. We have 3 minutes.
Perfect. So bear with me. I've got everyone who's attended. I've got them here. I'm just going to randomise and click the button. The winner is number 9, which is Janet Crossley, All Saints, Newton Heath. Well done, Janet.
Well done, Janet. That is fantastic. Congratulations. I will be in touch after the session to arrange that donation for you to get it added onto your account. So that is marvellous. I like finishing on the prize drawing.
Right, yeah. I've just got one more question from Alison, just asking, she thinks the church might have registered a few years ago but haven't done much with it. Alison, just to say, we can get in touch with you. She just wanted to know whether she needs to re-register. Roisin will check to see whether you've got an account, and she'll pick up with you tomorrow and talk you through what needs to happen next.
Yeah, no problem at all. Don't worry, we can sort that for you. Often it is the case that sometimes it's been registered and then forgotten about, or people move on, don't they? Committees move and roll, and so somebody who might have been involved in fundraising might have moved on to a different area. So we know that it's very easy to update information and make sure that we can help you get up and running again. Okay. Right then.
And it says thank you.
Oh, honestly, thank you for coming, Janet. It's so nice to be able to deliver this sort of event. These are our details. So just to finish off, we are going to send this session out for you, but also Paul's details are there if you want any support with all of that donate info that he's got available.
They all know where I live.
Go and knock on the door. No, don't knock on the door. You can get him on his email. But there's lots and lots of help. If you need any help from me, my details are there, and I'm more than happy to help. We've got a team of coaches who would love to speak to you for 15 or 20 minutes and talk you around the site. So there's lots of support there, and that's ongoing. We are here to help. We want you to raise as much as you can using Easy Fundraising. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to get in touch. In the meantime, we wish you all the very, very best. Oh, no, look, I was going to do it again. I have a poll. Don't go yet. I am going to put our poll up. We wanted to just see if there was anything that you'd like to see in the future. It's just a little bit of feedback for ourselves and for Paul and for the diocese to tailor our events so that these sessions are useful for you. So if you wouldn't mind just giving me a little bit of feedback, just have a quick look at those questions, and that would be very useful. And then once that is done, you are free to go and enjoy your evening. We'll just give it a second for the poll. We need the little bit of music again now for.
I think, just picking up on what Roisin said, we were chatting about this earlier on, because we're conscious that this is, we did something a year ago at the conference, we're doing it now. But, for those churches that are signing up, would you like something that would be perhaps couple of months down the line? For those churches that are using it, that might need a bit of a helping hand, we could do a session for those as well. So it's starting to look at how we can help you to make the best use of Easy Fundraising.
It is, it absolutely is, and we're getting some lovely feedback there about the sort of things they'd like to see. So that really will be useful, won't it, Paul? When
it will, absolutely.
Yeah, we look at how we're going to deliver more sessions like this, or something more focused. So maybe we talk about something specifically around donate, or we talked about maybe doing something specifically for supporters that people could share with their congregation. So there's lots that we can do, and I very much look forward to that, actually, and delivering a little more like this in the future. So I'm going to close this poll now. I think we're probably complete. And thank you so much. That is very kind of you, ladies and gentlemen, to do that for us. That really is the end of the proceedings. So I'll let you all go. But if you need anything at all, you have our details, and we'll be in touch. And we'll be in touch with our winner. Congratulations. Good night, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.